Hello everyone, my name is Brayden. This is Airless Quill 9, and in today's video, we are going to talk about the infamous Many-Eyed Tyrant known as the Beholder. Beholders are an iconic monster of Dungeons & Dragons. They are typically found in the Underdark, and they have a penchant for hoarding treasures that revolve around the arcane. Beholders, also known as eye tyrants, number among the most notorious inhabitants of the Underdark. Few creatures in the multiverse are as loathed and feared as these maniacal horrors. A beholder's distinctive globular body is dominated by an oversized maw and a gigantic central eye. 10 stalks ending in small eyes crown its form. From each of these 11 eyes, a beholder can unleash a different magic power. The central eye can deactivate magic, while the smaller eyes emit rays that inflict various dooms, such as petrifying creatures, disintegrating them, slaying them outright, or other effects. Beholders possess utterly alien minds. Most exhibit paranoid, narcissistic, and megalomaniacal tendencies, and they act on agendas beyond human reasoning. While some keep to themselves, others force weaker creatures into their service. Still, others cultivate grand ambitions, creating networks of minions to manipulate groups, settlements, and whole nations in the Underdark and sometimes the surface world. Few creatures loathe beholders more than other beholders. Every beholder views itself as the physical and intellectual pinnacle of its species. To them, all other beholders are aberrant rivals to be dominated or destroyed. Conflicts between beholders can last for decades and lay waste to vast subterranean realms. Beholders are a particular threat to adventurers because both gravitate towards mysterious ruins and sites of great magic. Many beholders collect the magic items and petrified bodies of heroes they have defeated, displaying them as trophies. Now, beholder lairs are quite complex. Beholders lurk in cavern complexes they've carved using their eye arrays deep in the Underdark, or in lairs created by them or for them by their servants. The region containing a beholder's lair is twisted by its presence, creating the following effects. Scarpophobia. Creatures within 1 mile of the lair feel as if they're being watched. Any creature, excluding the beholder and its allies, that finishes a short rest while within 1 mile of the lair must succeed on a DC 13 Wisdom saving throw or gain no benefit from that rest. Warping terrain. Minor warps in reality occur near the lair. Any creature, excluding the beholder, within 1 mile of the lair that makes a d20 test and rolls a 1 has the prone condition, which is quite interesting. If the beholder dies or moves its lair elsewhere, these effects end immediately. Now that we know a little bit about the lair effects of beholders, let's talk about their stat block as a whole, which has seen some significant changes. So the beholder is a large aberration of lawful evil alignment. It has an armor class of 18, 190 hit points, a speed of 5 feet, and a fly speed of 40 feet, and it can hover. It has a plus 12 bonus to initiative rolls. For its ability scores, it has a strength of 16, a dexterity of 14, a constitution of 18, an intelligence of 17, a wisdom of 15, and a charisma of 17. For its skills, it has a perception of plus 12. For its immunities, it is immune to the prone condition. For its senses, the beholder has dark vision of 120 feet and a passive perception of 22. For languages, the beholder can speak deep speech and undercommon. And as its challenge rating, the beholder is a CR 13 monster. It grants 10,000 experience points or 11,500 experience points if it's killed in its lair. and it has a proficiency bonus of +5. For its traits, the Beholder has legendary resistance 3 times per day, or 4 times per day if encountered in its lair, which just says that if the Beholder fails a saving throw, it can automatically choose to succeed instead, which is quite good for it. For its actions, the Beholder has a multi-attack, allowing it to use Eye Raise 3 times. The Beholder has a bite attack, that is a melee attack roll with a +8 to hit, a reach of 5 feet, and on a hit, it deals 3d6 plus 3 piercing damage. Finally, Eye Raise is a very large action. This says that the Beholder randomly shoots one of the following magical rays at a target it can see within 120 feet of itself. We are supposed to roll 1d10 and re-roll if the Beholder has already used that ray during this turn. So let's talk about all 10 options available to us under this singular action. 1 is Charm Ray. This is a wisdom saving throw with a DC of 16. On a failure, the target takes 3d8 psychic damage, and it has the charm condition for 1 hour or until it takes damage. On a success, though, the target takes half damage only. Number 2 is called Paralyzing Ray. This is a Constitution saving throw with a DC of 16. On a failure, the target has the paralyzed condition and repeats the save at the end of each of its turns, ending the effect on itself on a success. After 1 minute, it succeeds automatically. Number 3 is called Fear Ray. This is a Wisdom saving throw, DC 16. On a failure, the target takes 46 psychic damage, and the target has the Frightened condition until the end of its next turn. 4 is called Slowing Ray. This is a Constitution saving throw, DC 16. On a failure, the target takes 48 necrotic damage. Until the end of the target's next turn, the target's speed is halved, the target can't take reactions, and it can take either an action or a bonus action on its turn, not both. Finally, if the target succeeds on its saving throw, it only takes half damage. Number 5 is called Enervation Ray, and this is a Constitution saving throw, DC 16. On a failure, the target takes 3d8 poison damage, and the target has the poison condition until the end of its next turn. While poisoned, the target can't regain hit points. On a success, the target takes half damage only. 6 is called Telekinetic Ray. This is a Strength saving throw, DC 16. The target succeeds automatically if it is gargantuan. On a failure, the Beholder moves the target up to 60 feet in any direction. The target has the Restrained condition until the start of the Beholder's next turn, or until the Beholder has the Incapacitated condition. The Beholder can also exert fine control on objects with this ray, such as manipulating a tool or opening a door or container. 7 is called Sleep Ray. This is a Wisdom saving throw, DC 16. The target succeeds automatically if it is a construct or an undead. On a failure, the target has the unconscious condition for 1 minute. The condition ends if the target takes damage or a creature within 5 feet of it takes an action to wake it. Number 8 is called Petrification Ray. This is a Constitution saving throw, DC 16. On the first failure, the target has the Restrained condition and repeats the save at the end of its next turn if it is still restrained, ending the effect on itself on a success. However, if the target fails a second time, the target has the Petrified condition instead of the Restrained condition. Number 9 is called Disintegration Ray. This is a Dexterity saving throw, DC 16. On a failure, the target takes 8d8 force damage. If the target is a non-magical object or a creation of magical force, a 10-foot cube of it is disintegrated into dust. On a success, the target takes half damage. On a failure or success, if the target is a creature and this damage reduces it to 0 hit points, it is disintegrated into dust. Finally, the 10th ray is called Death Ray. This is a dexterity saving throw DC 16. On a failure, the target takes 10d10 necrotic damage. On a success, it takes half damage, and on a failure or success, the target dies if the ray reduces it to 0 hit points. The Beholder also has a bonus action called Anti-Magic Cone. The Beholder's central eye emits an anti-magic wave in a 150-foot cone. Until the start of the Beholder's next turn, that area acts as an anti-magic field spell, and that area works against the Beholder's own eye rays, which is quite unfortunate for it. Finally, we get to legendary actions. The Beholder has 3 legendary action uses, but it has 4 if fought in its lair, which is quite a benefit to it. Immediately after another creature's turn, the Beholder can expend a use to take one of the following actions. The Beholder regains all expended uses at the start of each of its turns. Chomp. The Beholder makes 2 bite attacks. Glare. The Beholder uses eye rays. And yeah, that's the entire stat block of the Beholder. It is quite long. I'm actually surprised I was able to fit it in the screen here. Unfortunately, if you are not watching this on a monitor or a television, it's probably going to be a little bit difficult for you to read the stat block, so I apologize for that. But feel free to pause and zoom if you would like to take a look at it. So let's talk about the actual changes to the stat block. First off, the Beholder has gained 10 hit points by gaining a additional hit point die, which is nice. The Beholder has also had its base movement speed increased from 0 feet to 5 feet, which is interesting. And its fly speed has increased from 20 feet to 40 feet. So that is also a very nice boon to it. Finally, the Beholder has actually seen some changes to its ability scores. Its strength has increased to a 16. But other than that, the rest of them look exactly the same. I did not mention beforehand, but the Beholder is has proficiency in Constitution and Wisdom saving throws. Previously, it had proficiency in Intelligence, Wisdom, and Charisma saving throws. It has lost 2 proficiencies, but has gained 1. Other than that, nothing is different about its actual abilities. Traits, though. Anti-Magic Cone used to be a trait. It has now been changed to a bonus action, which is a nice functionality change, and it is a lot easier to use now, at least in functionality, which is quite nice. The Beholder has also gained those legendary resistances. It used to not have any at all. Now it has 3 per day or 4 per day if it's in its lair, which is quite nice. The bite attack has been changed slightly. This used to be a +5 to hit. It's now a +8. And it now deals 3d6 plus 3 piercing damage. It used to deal 46 piercing damage. So that is a tiny change there. Finally, they added in the multi-attack option. The eye rays action itself used to say that the Beholder shot 3 rays. That has now been changed to a multi-attack, and eye rays is just a action type. So I actually like that change. It's very easy to be able to tell that the Beholder now makes 3 of those attacks rather than just 1. Finally, there are a number of changes to these eye rays themselves. The Charm Ray has had the psychic damage added to it. The Paralyzing Ray has not seen any changes. Yes, that is correct. The Fear Ray has had the psychic damage added to it. The Slowing Ray has had that necrotic damage added to it. The Enervation Ray used to deal 8d8 necrotic damage. That has been changed to that 3d8 poison damage. I don't know why that was changed, but it is now a poisoning ray rather. So that is actually quite different. It has had its damage reduced, but it also applies the poison condition, so that's pretty much entirely different in a way. And it used to be a strength save. It is now it's still a constitution saving throw, my bad. Telekinetic ray looks to be about the same. The sleep ray is about the same. The petrification ray, it is the same, but its functionality has changed slightly. It is a lot clearer on how that scaling detriment works now, which I quite like how they've changed the petrification effects to work that way. It's very easy to read and understand now. Disintegration ray has had its damage decrease slightly. It used to be 10d8, it is now 8d8, so that's slightly different. And finally, that death ray works exactly the same, so still completely decimating. Disintegration ray now deals damage on deals half damage on a successful save. It used to deal nothing if the target succeeded, so that is another change, which is quite nice. But yeah, bonus actions. That anti-magic cone is now a bonus action. I like the functionality of that. And as for legendary actions, I like that the beholder gets an additional legendary action when fought in its lair. That's a nice bonus. And it actually gained a new legendary action. That's the Chomp one, allowing it to make 2 bite attacks. That's an entirely new legendary action option, and I quite like that it makes 2 bite attacks. It's pretty neat. And the final legendary action for the new beholder used to just be called Irate. It is now called Glare, so that's a tiny change there. I also neglected to state that the beholder now is double proficient in initiative rolls, so now has a +12 bonus to initiative. That used to not be something that the old monster manual did. In fact, the beholder only had a +2 to initiative, so having a +12 now is a great benefit to it. It's going to make sure that it can act pretty soon in combat, if not first. But yeah, that's the beholder for you. A lot of interesting changes there, and seems to be a little bit more of a threat than it used to be in its old version. But yeah, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you all for watching. If you like beholders, or if you just enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more content like this, please subscribe to my channel. I'm going through every monster in the monster manual. Next on our list are going to be the berserkers, which there is a new option for that NPC type, so keep an eye out for that video. Until then, thank you all for watching, and I will catch you all in the next one. See you later.